So one day, this guy goes on a TV show, Divorce Court. He and his wife have been having problems lately because apparently he's been cheating on her.
Were you cheating on her, Mr. Burns?
Absolutely. And I told her, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was cheating on her.
Now his name is Ronel, and he's obviously been cheating, but no one knows who he's been cheating on his wife with. However, it's speculated that it's this woman, Keianna. And people speculate that because shortly after this episode of Divorce Court, Ronel leaves his wife and he starts dating Keianna. Now, between Ronel and Keianna, they have 8 kids, which is a lot. And it's expensive. But that's fine, because Ronel and Keianna, they have all these side hustles to keep them afloat. She owns a couple of hair salons. She's also kind of an influencer, so she's always flexing online to all her followers, while he is an entrepreneur. And he has an online business where he coaches other entrepreneurs. So he's also always flexing on social media too, like trying to show off how successful he is. They're also both apparently super religious. In fact, one of his side hustles is that he owns his own ministry business.
Because we focus and we know why God put us on this earth, and it's to make an impact on people's lives.
So anyway, Ronel and Keianna are about to be real successful. So they get married and they go into business together.
Hi, I'm Ronel Burns, and this is my lovely wife, Keianna Burns.
Hi.
Today we're going to talk to you about entrepreneurship and how it greatly benefited our life.
And things appear to be going pretty well for them. And like Ronel goes out and buys her a new Maserati and they're all posting about it on Instagram. But at one point, this is all not enough. And they want to raise their online profile even more. So they try and self-produce their own reality show called Meet the Burns. And they shoot a whole promo for it.
America, you ain't gonna wanna miss this.
This is my wife, Keianna.
Mrs. Burns?
And of course, in this show, they make sure to portray themselves as the successful business owners they are.
Baby, we gotta move fast, baby, because it's time for big business.
And so these two seem to be doing really well. They're like the ultimate influencer power couple. Until, here's the thing. Ronel and Keianna project a lot of success online. But behind the scenes, things are different. They're actually struggling financially. In fact, almost all of their business ventures are failing. The only semi-successful ones they have are her hair salons. But apparently that's just not enough to keep them afloat. Mostly because they've been spending a lot of money on stupid shit in order to flex on social media. And soon enough, all this spending catches up to them. And they've racked up over $500,000 in debt. Debt that they're just not able to pay back. So then, boom, they file for bankruptcy. And this really sucks for them. But of course, they don't post that part on social media. No, they keep flexing and projecting that image of the ultimate entrepreneur power couple. And they act like nothing is wrong. In fact, 2 years later, despite their financial troubles, they decide to move the whole family to a bigger city. One where they'll have even more business opportunity. Atlanta. And of course, while they're there, they keep flexing online. And they just keep spending money. And they rent a huge 5,200 square foot house with 5 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms. And they allegedly tell their followers, not that they're renting it, but that they bought it. Now, despite them projecting all this success online, again, behind the scenes, things are different. The big move to Atlanta just doesn't seem to be going great for them. And it's been particularly hard on Keianna, who's been having some really bad days since she moved there. And to make it worse, at some point, life just drops a bomb on her. She finds out that Ronel has allegedly been cheating on her. Similar to what he had done to his previous wife, now he's doing it to her.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was cheating on her.
And of course, this sends their marriage spiraling into a rough patch, and they start talking about divorce.
We talking about, we just didn't want to do this no more. She was tired of me, I was tired of her. If we're gonna get a divorce, let's be civil. We got kids, we got businesses. We said, well, let's just sit down and just talk about how this all gonna work out.
And then, allegedly, at some point, Keianna retaliates for his cheating, and she ends up cheating on him. It's a whole mess. And then, sadly, after only living in Atlanta for 5 to 6 months, they end up filing for divorce. And according to the divorce papers, he's in the process of moving out. And all this bad news hits Keianna really hard. She thought they were gonna live happily ever after, and it just didn't work out. And so mentally, she's been struggling, and she just can't hide it anymore by projecting all this success online. And suddenly, the tone of her posts start to change.
And the reason I'm going live is because sometimes you gotta reach out
and tell people that you need love, you need support, you need care, you just need a hug. And honestly, you guys, I need that.
And so Keianna starts to get more real, more emotional. One day she even posts, "God knows I would do anything to wake up from this nightmare." Then, about 2 weeks after that post, Keianna and Ronel are at the house one night. I guess he hadn't fully moved out yet. And as you can imagine, things are tense, and they get into an argument. And it gets bad, like really bad, and things get physical. In fact, this fight gets so bad, one of the daughters ends up calling 911, and she reports domestic violence. But at some point, Keianna just can't take it anymore. And so she goes, and she gets a pew-pew, and she points it at Ronel, and she pulls the trigger, unaliving him. Then she calls the police to report what she had done and to say please send help, but before first responders can get there, Keianna turns the pew-pew on herself and she unalives herself too. That's a sad one. Shout out to social media.